Good morning and welcome to the Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We are hearing a lot about the forest and the trees, and rightly so. Forests are our best help in every way, and they keep secrets. As a matter of fact, forests are secret storehouses of capabilities, information, health, and everything. For too long a time, we have seen trees as purely functional, ornamental, backdrop, or on the sideline, as decoration for the city streets, as shady spots for resting and relief from the sun. They provide us with paper and fuel, fruits and nuts. But these benefits are obvious. They are visible to each one of us. However, they are so useful and secretively they help us so much that we are not even aware of those benefits which are not visible to the naked eye. In the background, they secretly clean our water, filter our air, and protect us from climate change by delaying it. In fact, forests are the guardian angels of more than 1 billion people, providing food, medicine, fuel, who have no recourse but to go to them. They provide housing to more than 3/4 of the world's biodiversity on this planet and at home to the world's poorest people. Do we recognize their importance in our life? Let's see what benefits they have which we don't really recognize. People use of them without even acknowledging it, without expressing gratitude. Are you aware that they're the supermarkets? More than an occasional apple or an orange that we pluck from a tree, forests are in fact veritable food markets. 50% of the fruit that we eat comes from the trees, not to mention the nuts and the spices. And then there are life insurance. Many communities rely almost exclusively on forests for their food resources. 40% of the extremely poor class, extremely poor, and they are 250 million people in the world. They live in the forest and savanna area. For these communities, vibrant forests and the trees are the lifeline and insurance against hunger. Imagine forests as a water fountain. Forests provide a large amount of drinking water for more than 1/3 of the world's largest cities, including New York and Mumbai. 1/3 of the world's largest cities, the water part, the drinking water is supplied by the forest. Rivers, streams have their sources in the forest. They are the filters and provide clean water, energy. About 1/3 of the world's population use wood as their source of energy. And from where the wood comes? From the trees. For cooking, boiling, water, heating. And the wood from the forest supply about 40% of the global renewable energy. Can you believe it? It's as much as solar, hydroelectric, and wind power combined. So the forest energy is equal to 3 other sources of energy, rather 4. Solar, wind, hydroelectric combined do not give that much energy as the wood is giving, and there it is from the forest. As a matter of fact, they grow back. They are renewable, but you need to replant them. They are superheroes. You know, forests and trees are not conspicuous, but they are our heroes. Heroes in the fight against the climate change. And the climate change cannot be stopped, but it can be slowed down with the help of the forest. Why? They make the trees, our cities, more sustainable by naturally cooling air and removing pollutants. They are the sinkholes of carbon. Excuse me. They safeguard our health by giving us a time to retreat and relax. They tackle land degradation and protect that biodiversity loss, which I have always been talking. And the loss of biodiversity is much more dangerous than the climate change. As I said, there's the carbon sinks. Do you know that 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide every year is absorbed by the forests of this earth? 2 billion tons. Imagination staggers. But they have a flaw as well. Deforestation is their problem. You remember last time I discussed that planting trees is no solution to deforestation. The tree cover is not as good as the forest cover is. And our leaders have to understand that forest cover has to be replaced by the forest cover, not by the tree cover. Deforestation is in fact the leading cause of the climate change after burning fossil fuels. Then, coming apart from these benefits of the climate change, of the water, of the food, of energy, they are stress relievers. You remember I had talked of the forest bathing, the concept in Japan, which is a great concept. Then tourism, nature-based tourism is growing 3 times faster than the tourism industry as a whole. Just the ecotourism, the natural tourism. And 20% of the tourism market is today solely devoted to nature-based tourism. Studies involving green spaces and tree cover to the reduced level of obesity and crime. Obesity in the children living in the areas near good acres of the green space is lower than those living in the cities who have no green space at all. There's a quiet workers. Forests are not voluble. They very quietly and sincerely work. They play a bigger role in our day-to-day life. And we don't even realize it. We cannot lead healthy, productive life without them. And we cannot hope to have a zero hunger world without them. Can you believe it? And if I look at that, they're the God's gift. The mantras of the Vedas in Hindu philosophy are based on that. For example, one of the Ved mantras translated reads, "O plant, you are like mother to me. Kill all my disease and make me healthy. I offer salutation to you and bow before you as a token of gratitude." The forest trees and the tree appear in Indian scriptures, in Vedic scriptures, in Inca scriptures, in African and Native American scriptures. In, for example, Ramayana, one of the epics of India, good and evil coexist in the forest, and that's why the ashrams are located in the forest. There are forest books, called Arankas, and they gave the philosophy of Vedic rituals in Vanprastha, how to live in the forest. Can you believe that the Native Americans and the Native Canadians, they are so tuned to the nature? I was sick once, long back, and this lady who was massaging me, Doris, She just moved her hands on me, invoking the spirits of the forest, and told me very clearly that she was being motivated and being told by the spirits of the forest how to move, how to help. In India, for example, there's a scripture called Bhagavatam, which says that tree is the greatest example of generosity and selfless service. They give everything: fruits, flowers, leaves, root, bark, and even trunk. Can anybody be more gracious and sacrificing? They teach a lesson in gratitude. The Buddhists use seed trees as sign of enlightenment and self-realization. Just think of yourself. Have you ever gone to a conservatory? As you enter a conservatory, the warmth, the humidity, the aroma makes you live a new life, a different life. The feeling, the smell, the air cannot be matched. I have gone to the conservatory when I'm inside a conservatory. The whole world looks to be different. And you are in a state of bliss. As a matter of fact, that's why again I'm reverting to the forest bathing. When you go and hug a tree, when you lean against a tree and press your back to the tree, then it's better than lounging in the best lounge chair. As a matter of fact, if you look at our lives, we spend 90% of our time indoors. People like me spend 100% of their time indoors. I have not gone out except for going to the hospital. And that's a worrisome thing. As a matter of fact, I regard that it is a syndrome leading to sickness. In the early 80s, it was discovered that the people who stay indoors complain of mysterious headaches, sore throats, and a study determined that pollution was making people sick. I'm lucky to be living in that area where even inside I'm outside. I'm inside my room, but I enjoy the beauty of nature. I look over my window and I see plants and the trees and everything. The volatile organic compounds are the culprits which make you sick indoors. They're the chemicals emitted from computers, from furniture, from carpeting, and then they make us sick. The moment you are with the trees, all these VOCs lose all their life. And another thing, they lower your blood pressure. They have psychological benefit and medical benefit. Caring for the plants, like watering, pruning, grooming, is a welcome therapy. I have not done it quite for some time, but I remember just last year when I was pruning the branches, well, I was cut off from the pain and the misery of the world. The first thing to consider is the amount of light you have to work with. The artificial light is not there. It's a natural light which gives you life. Suppose you have a building, an awning which is restricting you light. Don't you feel bad? And if there is a cacti, a fig, a palm tree in your room, doesn't it give you a better sense of well-being? Don't you prefer bay windows? Why? Because mentally you are more in tune with the trees and the forest. And that makes your life worthwhile. As a matter of fact, the household plants can change the very negative effects of living indoors to outdoors. So, forests have the secrets which we didn't know. They have untold benefits. And the house plants can replicate those secrets, those benefits inside the homes. This gift of the nature has to be protected, has to be nurtured because it cleans our air, raises the humidity, lowers blood pressure, makes you happier, makes you healthier. And what more can you wish for? These forests are a treasure. Let's not lose them. Let's use them. Thank you.